Hello, folks. Welcome back to Overtime, episode 36. Wow.
Hi.
Episode 36. We've been doing this a while, I guess.
We skipped a week because both of us just kind of got busy with shit.
We got
What do you
busy and we
know?
totally forgot to record anything.
What do you know? Humans have lives outside of the internet.
And of course,
Hard to
I
believe.
of course I haven't really been doing reaction videos because well, I've been kind of engrossed in my new model kits and new video game,
Oh, what game?
Satisfactory.
Is it a computer game?
Yeah, it's a game where you build a factory on a planet. You got to get resources and all this stuff and try and make it efficient.
Why don't you record videos of that?
I've got 2 videos of that recorded. The last 2 weeks. I've made it my Twitch stream, which then gets uploaded to YouTube on the gaming channel. Anyways, like I said, welcome to this. Today we're going to be talking about China and the bubonic plague,
And Top T versus James Charles.
And real quick before we start any of that, I want to say the idea of Kanye West as president sounds entertaining. Since apparently he's running now. What's next, Oprah?
Why is he waiting until, like, half of the election time?
From what I read, it more sounds like he's going to try to really run in 2024.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's kind of too late.
From what I've read, it sounds the way he's talking, it more sounds like he's going to run to try to be the Republican nomination after Trump leaves office in 2024.
Oh,
and we will say after he leaves office because we all are pretty sure that Biden will not win. If Biden wins, there goes the neighborhood. But it's never going to happen.
If Kanye West wins, I think I just might as well shoot myself now.
It's Kanye West. He's mostly harmless. He's just a little crazy. He's got a little too much on the God this, God that side.
Yeah, we don't need someone like that.
No, theocracy is a bad thing. Look at the Middle East and the Crusades. My point is made for me. But to get back on these other topics, apparently Laura is all freaked out because the plague is back in China, despite the fact that it's been back in China for quite a while.
Well, they were announcing today that they have a bubonic plague that's called the pneumonic plague, which is a strain of the bubonic plague, but this one is respiratory and can go through sneezes and coughs, and can only be dealt with antibiotics, which, as most of you guys know, almost every single clinic, at least in Michigan, is no longer open due to all of this COVID-19 shit. So getting any sort of care is not exactly that easy to fucking get.
Yeah, well, you'll be able to get this care at the ER because I will give you guys the symptoms. Symptoms include swollen lymph nodes, which can be as large as chicken eggs, in the groin, armpit, and neck. They may be tender and warm. Also includes fever, chills, headache, fatigue, and muscle aches. Also, just so you guys know, a form of bubonic plague is what caused the Black Death. These nodules will be filled with a black pus. Essentially, you can have a cough where you're coughing up blood. Essentially, you are going to know you have the plague.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's harder to tell with COVID.
With
because
COVID,
a lot of people,
you can't really tell because a lot of people think, but you are going to know you have bubonic plague. Before you even get to the doctor, you will know, hey, it's the plague. All you gotta do is look in a history book and, hey, those symptoms, they're extremely specific, and especially the one with the swollen pus-filled lymph nodes, which is where the Black Death got its name because they were burst with black pus and all that stuff. That's why they call it the Black Death. But it's also always been transmissible from human to human, but it's mostly transmitted through fleas and ticks. Though it can transmit through coughs and stuff, and it's always been like that, though, because a lot of people who cared for the people who had the plague back in the 1300s or so when those plagues happened, and the plague came to London every year at a certain point in history. But the people who would care for the people who had it would then catch it and also die. If one person in your house caught it, you were all dead back then. And it came in with the rats. And of course, right now, China's going to get a hold of this thing too because they let water out of the Three Gorges Dam and flooded and destroyed several towns and killed a lot of people. On
I didn't know
purpose.
that.
Yeah, and when floodwaters come in and start damaging shit, especially in rural areas, it's a great time for the rats. And that's where the plague gets into the things, because rats and fleas on rats carry plague. So if you get into a spot where you increase your rat population, you're going to have plague show up. That's why a lot of people used to own cats, because cats would eat the mice and the rats and keep the plague at bay. That's pretty much why we started to keep cats around as pets, to take care of the mice and the rats.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really. Because cats are great at hunting mice and rats carry disease. So adopt a cat to keep away the mice and rats. At least that's what I think happened, anyways. Like we started keeping dogs because we tamed wolves to help us hunt. But yeah, so everyone, don't be afraid of the plague. You're gonna know you have it, and if you go to the ER, say I think I have the plague, they're gonna rush you in the back, test you, and when they find out you do have it, they're gonna pump you full of IV antibiotics, and you will be fine. Just make sure to go with an N95 mask in the ER though, because you don't want the plague and the COVID. Oh, what a day that would be. I got the plague, but I got the COVID too, goes the guy with the worst luck on the planet.
Yeah.
That would be a bad day. A very bad day. But you want to talk about something else that I have no clue about? That you're pretty much going to have to go on about? Something versus someone versus someone? I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, so, I'm going to talk briefly about the situation where this happened last year for you guys, and it is being revisited because basically the only thing that seems to be selling on YouTube is drama. I mean, besides, Mr. Beast, but that dude's just kind of untouchable at this point.
When is drama not selling on YouTube?
Yeah, well, anyways, so what happened a while ago, probably last summer, I want to say, was this girl named Tati. She is like a makeup and basically one of the larger makeup influencers on YouTube. She had, before she started this whole drama thing, she probably had like 5 or 6 million, maybe less. And then when she made this video against James Charles, it went up to like 10 million, maybe more. And then she lost a lot when, oh boy, the dude who's like wasn't even 21 at the time actually had receipts and wasn't actually as shitty as people were saying he was. Well, anyways, she came out with a video basically saying, this guy is so horrible, like, he does all these shitty things, like, I can't believe that I trusted him. And mind you, like, the dude, James Charles, like I said, not even 21 at the time, and she's, like, 40 or something like that. Well, she said these allegations where, but why this is important now is because with all the Jeffree Star and all the Shane Dawson shit, she said, well, that just isn't true. Like, he's making himself to be a victim, Shane Dawson, and I'm the victim. Those two scumbags like were saying shit in my ear to make it seem like James Charles was this awful person, and she was basically saying in the whole 40-minute video, um, she said sorry to James Charles and whatnot, but she was mostly blaming them, which, like, I can understand, people lying to you, people saying shit to you, but the thing is, she's the one that uploaded the video. Like, she didn't have to do that. They weren't, putting her in their basement, tying her up, and telling her, you need to film this video. That's just not what happened. So the fact that she's taking all of the blame to put on Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, which I will say probably they should be getting some of the blame. I can definitely see that being something that they could have done to. The theory is that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star were jealous that James Charles was growing significantly faster than they were, which he was growing really fast. So they theorize that they were trying to take him out, which is a very dark thing to think about.
Take him out as in try to kill him?
No, take him out as in like have him lose a bunch of these subscribers, lose money, blah 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 blah.
Oh, that's just political meandering. Companies do it all the time. It's business.
And I myself think that is a possibility that did occur, but at the same time, she really should not be putting so much. I don't know what the term is, but I feel like
Emphasis?
she's victimizing herself in the situation.
Well, of course, right now everyone wants to be a victim on everything. I mean, shit, look at the Bubba Wallace thing with the NASCAR. That dude, people asked for pictures of this rope that he talked about that supposedly was like a noose, but then we find out that all the ropes for all the doors were tied like that at Talladega. Or, not Talladega, Daytona, or wherever they were with that, the whole thing. If you heard about that thing with the NASCAR and that guy. He said,
no.
Yeah, apparently, NASCAR, Bubba Wallace apparently found who's the only even partly African-American black guy in that bracket of NASCAR. Well, apparently he found this thing. He thought it looked like a noose, so he thought someone was being racist towards him. Turns out, every one of that it was just the way they tied the rope on the door, so they could pull it down easier. So, essentially, he decides that a rope with a loop is a noose, even though loops on ropes are used for a lot of things. Because otherwise you gotta wrap it around your arm to get the leverage. And for any of you guys who have not had to pull down a large heavy garage door with a rope, believe me, either having a handle or a loop on the rope is very, very handy. Now, people asked him for evidence. He decided to pull a believe all women card, as in believe all black people, and if you don't believe me, you're a racist, and all that. Essentially, he became a race baiter. Saying how this horrible thing happened to him. Nothing happened to him. It was a rope tied with a loop at the end for pulling down a garage door in the garage where they keep the cars at a NASCAR track. And every door had the same knot tied into it. But there was this whole investigation, but no one ever took pictures of what this rope seriously looked like. And if someone found a picture of what those ropes were looking like, and it just looked like someone tied a loop at the end of a rope to pull down the door. So I'm like, what the hell is problem? I mean, sure, they could have probably put a handle on it instead of looping the rope. I mean, NASCAR has a lot of money. Why do you need to be that cheap to tie the rope into a loop, But
right.
It's a loop on the end of a rope that pulls down the garage door. Someone's trying to be a victim here to make themselves get a pity party and get themselves to the front of the line, which they did. He got put to the front starting position of the race as a sorry this happened to you. He got a pity push where everyone pushed his car around the track. So he got himself an actual pity parade. And these are what these people who want to be victims do, because they found out that in this day and age, we give the victim all the power. And we just believe that someone's a victim with no evidence. You know, it's like, I was the actual victim of actual physical violence at the hands of other people. I've been hit over the head with hardcover books, my head smacked into a brick wall, big chunks of ice thrown at my head. This was all when I was in elementary school, guys. Boulders of ice and snow rolled over me while my entire class held me down. Chokeholds. Fists being beaten up. No one did anything for me.
Nope.
And these people want to complain because the rope had a loop tied into it. They must be racist. I'm like, you know what? Come to me when you actually get physically assaulted. Because I don't know what it's like to both be physically assaulted and then feel for your life in your own home because of a crazy freaking roommate. So these people need to calm down and learn when you need to take care of, when something needs to be put to a certain extent and other times. Because despite all this stuff, I've taken care of it all myself.
Right.
Because no one would do anything for me. Because I decided I wasn't going to be the victim anymore. I got tired. Real victims get tired of being the victim, and they stop being the victim. So anyone who is screaming out victimhood about something and not doing anything about it, they're not a real victim.
Right.
Because people who are real victims take charge of the situation when they decide to stop being a victim. Because if you haven't noticed, a lot of times the victim mentality victimizes those who these supposed victims wish to get rid of, who they don't like. So, but I really kind of lost you there. So what completely happened between these people on the internet with the drama? Sorry, I wasn't completely paying attention.
This all kind of, from what I gathered, she made the video saying she was very betrayed and blah blah. So her and
betrayed how?
I'm getting to that, bitch. Her and this guy James Charles, they were two people from the beauty community. They were very big. He was growing way faster than most people on YouTube. Probably the fastest, besides Mr. Beast, basically. And, well, he was at least growing the fastest of the beauty community channel. So, he went to Coachella last year. You know, when people could go to fun shit and we didn't have COVID happening.
Being overblown, but okay.
So, he had some issues with security and he couldn't get into Coachella because at the time, like I said, he is a huge person. A lot of people were bombarding him and like trying to take pictures with him and blah blah. So he wanted some extra security. So he made a deal with Sugar Bear Hair, which is a vitamin company. So he made like a little post saying, you know, I'll make this post for you, Sugar Bear Hair, so that I can get some artist passes, so that I can, you know, get the better seats away from the general public, basically, at Coachella. So he got his artist passes and blah, blah, blah. And Tati got, I guess, very angry at this because Tati has her own vitamin company. And she took that as betrayal because Sugar Bear Hair is one of the largest competitors that she has.
So because someone did something for a competitor instead of her, she felt betrayed?
She felt betrayed because it was from him, which she said James Charles was like kind of like a son to her, and that, you know, she confided in him, like they collabed and whatnot.
Well, was she going to be able to get him these artist passes?
No.
Well, then he did it for the passes. It was business. Whoever can give you the better deal. It has nothing to do with being personal. It's just good business. There was no treachery there.
And then I guess
it wasn't personal.
She was trying to say was before she like filmed that video, that Shane and Jeffrey talked to her about these supposed awful allegations that James Charles had, and it kind of just made her blood boil, and that's what caused her to make the video.
Yeah, essentially someone took something that was just business and they should have just kept it at a professional level. And they made it personal.
Right. And the thing is, like, after all of this happened, I don't know why, maybe because of what Shane Dawson said recently, did she decide to come out with this video. But I don't think it's helping her that she did.
Oh, hell
I
no.
think it's making Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson worse, but I don't particularly think it's making her look better.
Oh, no, it's not. And there is a thing about all this stuff. As you guys may know, we may say a whole lot of stuff about our thoughts on an issue, you know, and how someone's acting. But we will never on this show attack someone personally. Or we will try our best not to attack them personally. We might make it a little personal stuff, but when it comes to business sort of stuff, business is business. If we have a disagreement with another creator, we're not going to start a fight over it and bring in personal information, personal stories, and make everything about it. We're going to keep that in the background where we can deal with this ourselves between each other. Because we're not a show based on drama.
Even though we're technically talking about drama.
We're taking it about drama, but we talk about current events or different topics, you know.
Yeah.
So if drama's going on, we're going to talk about the drama. But we've also talked about yoga and meditation. We've talked about dreams. We've had a witch on. We've had a transgendered person on the show.
We had a basically the most holy person you could meet without punching him in the face, political analyst.
Yeah. So our show has a broad range. So we're not trying to build our show on drama. We're just doing current events and drama, which we were going to do all bonus episodes. But we kind of have been... The idea pool of new episodes has kind of runneth dry. The well hath runneth dry. So we're kind of latching onto what
we kind of just talk about what's going on, and if it happens to be about drama, that's just kind of where it's at.
Yeah, until one of us gets inspired to do a video about something actually interesting. But we both have full-time jobs, so... And on top of this, we both do our regular YouTube. Laura does unboxing and that. I do my gaming channel and my reactions and stuff. So we're very busy people. Like me, I've been in a funk lately, which is why not a lot of reaction videos and stuff have been being made, because I've just been in one of... You know what it's like, Laura? You know, when you get in just a depressed funk?
Yeah.
You know, it's just you really don't want to do anything. It's kind of a struggle to get anything done, and you don't really want to do that. And I want to get these videos made and get these games finished and get the reaction videos going, because I like getting that many views on a video, but I just haven't felt like recording. And here's the thing. When you don't feel like recording and you force yourself to record, I feel like it kind of carries over into your reaction or your language and your let's play. You know, it kind of carries into it that you really don't want to be doing this, and it just doesn't make it that great for the audience. So I figure better to take a break than to force myself into something that I'm not really feeling at the moment. You know.
Right, you want to be putting content out because you want to, not because you feel like you have to.
Exactly. Like there's one video that I feel like I have to put out every week, because I've got one follower on my gaming channel who watches that Let's Play series religiously every week and comments on every video telling me how good of a job I'm doing. And, and all that stuff. And he's being very encouraging with that stuff, so that makes me want to make that video. Because I know I have that one follower, it may only be one, but one is enough, You got that one person who seems to be being pretty nice and decent in the comments, makes a comment on every video, watches everyone that comes out on Monday, says how he loves the series. It's like, that makes me want to keep doing that series, because I know somebody's enjoying it. And when life's kind of getting you down and you're trying to grow the following and nobody's really watching or commenting, you don't know who's enjoying it. So, it's like, is it really worth it to keep making shit? You know, Granted, I have been gaining subscribers steadily from the reaction videos, so they're obviously worth it, but that is what that is, you know. But yeah, so like I was saying, we're not really a drama-based show.
Right.
We'll talk about it, but like we also said earlier, when we get money, we're gonna start to perhaps do some actual video episodes where we show like on a camera, what one of us is unboxing and whatnot and everything else. But that's a ways off and whatnot, and we got to get the infrastructure to do that. And as you guys know, we don't make any money off this show at all. We'd love to get Patreon, we'd love to make money off this, but we don't make any money. So we do fund all this with extra money we work on in our full-time jobs. This is completely a self-funded show. And it will never be monetized because monetization brings way too many restrictions on language and what you can talk about and all that shit. So all that stuff. But we are at 26 minutes, and I think we've kind of ran the gambit of getting off topic and everything else. So all that stuff. So before we go, don't forget you can like, comment, subscribe. Give us an idea for the next episode if you see this episode all the way to the end. Please, we need ideas. The creative well hath runneth dry.
Yes.
Around here. And all that stuff. And if you would like to support the show and support the final actually getting Patreon stuff actually created, go to the Patreon. You can support us there. Once we can get a small amount of time going from that, we can finally, start getting the reward videos and stuff produced, or at least I can, because that's all pretty much going to be me, and we can start putting some stuff into this. Because if you put in the Patreon that you are a patron because of the podcast, just send a message to us. All the stuff's in the description below for links to Patreon and all that, by the way. All that money for whatever you are in will go towards equipment, software, or anything else, and anything above that will be split evenly between me and my co-host of that amount. So you'll be supporting both of us and the show. Just make sure to let us know that you are on Patreon to support the show, so we can put it in the, budgetary things of the show and the channel and whatnot. Just putting that out there. So if you want to support us, Patreon. That's our e-baking segment, guys. That's our e-baking segment. And I feel horrible about doing it. Desperation is ugly on everybody. Well, anyways, I'm Tony Sixwing here with Six Ring Productions on the Overtime Podcast. This has been episode 36. I hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you next week.
Yep.
Bye now.
Bye.